Please note that this video provides general legal education and not tailored legal advice. If you need tailored legal advice, please apply to Q Legal's free legal advice clinic.
Hello and welcome to this Q Legal video on data privacy law. After watching this video, you will know what exactly qualifies as personal data, who the key players are in data privacy law, and what are your obligations when collecting and processing personal data. Okay, let's get started with what is personal data. It is essentially information relating to an individual which either identifies them directly or can be used to identify them. It can be anything from their name, email address, phone number, or even location and biometric data. The person whose personal data you are collecting becomes the data subject. Therefore, it is key to understand your role towards the data subject in order to ensure compliance with the UK Data Protection Law, which includes both the UK Data Protection Act of 2018 and the UK GDPR. Under UK Data Protection Law, you can either be a controller or a processor of personal data. A data controller decides why and how personal data will be used, while a data processor only processes the data on behalf of the controller. The processor processes the data strictly under the terms of the Data Processing Agreement, which is a legally binding contract between the controller and the processor, and outlines specifically how the processor must handle the data. For example, let's imagine a fictional business called Coffee Clothes, which outsources its payroll operations to a third-party payroll company. In this scenario, Coffee Clothes is a controller because it controls its employees' personal data and shares this data with the payroll company along with very specific instructions on how the data will be used. The payroll company is a processor and processes the data strictly under the instructions of Coffee Clothes. Now, it is critical to understand that as the controller, you have the responsibility for ensuring that the data subject's personal data is handled lawfully, fairly, and transparently. Lawfulness means that when collecting a person's data, you need to know why you're doing so and have a valid reason. A so-called lawful basis. The lawful basis include consent of the data subject, performance of a contract with the data subject, a legal obligation, the data subject's viral interests, a public task, or a legitimate interest. All of the lawful bases are equally valid under the UK Data Protection Law, with none inherently carrying more weight than the rest. To better understand lawful bases, let's go back to our fictional business, Coffee Clothes. Now, as part of their online store, Coffee Clothes asks customers to sign up via email for their newsletter by ticking a box. This way, by opting in, customers give their consent for their email to be used for promotional purposes, making thus this collection of their data lawful. Now, for the consent to be valid, the data subject must positively opt in, be informed about the purposes of data processing, and be permitted to withdraw its consent easily. At the same time, customers share their address and payment details when ordering online. This data collection and processing is necessary to complete the sales contract and deliver the goods. Fairness in data processing refers to using personal data only in ways and for the duration of time that your customers expect you to. For example, it would be an unfair use if Coffee Clothes sold their customers' contact details to data brokers without notifying them first. Finally, to ensure transparency, you must inform customers why you need their data, who you'll share it with, and for how long you're going to keep it. To meet these obligations, you will need a privacy notice. An easy way to create one is by visiting the Information Commissioner's Office Privacy Notice Generator.
For free legal advice tailored to your business, please go to the Q Legal website and apply to the Q Legal Legal Advice Clinic. For additional videos and other helpful resources, please go to the Q Legal Resource Hub.